Chapter 2018, The Resurrected Sculpture. On top of the Zhongshan Mountain, Fatty Su, Uncle Yu, and Li Yangyang quickly left the valley and arrived at the beach outside. The black tortoise's spirit body had been following them, but it couldn't do anything in its spirit form. After the group left, they realized that they were covered in cold sweat. Should we go back? Fatty Su looked at Uncle Yu and asked for his opinion. Where are we going back for now? Let's stay here and observe the situation, then wait for Zhang Yi and the others to come over. Uncle Yu glanced at Fatty Su. It wasn't Fatty Su's fault. This place was too strange and always gave people a terrifying feeling. However, that terrifying feeling didn't come from the demon god in the abyss. It came from the black Zhongshan mountain that sealed Mammon. It was a huge cage made up of huge bronze pillars, and staring at it gave people a feeling of fear that came from deep within their hearts. Fatty Su scratched his head, said nothing more, and just stayed as far away from Zhongshan Mountain as possible. After a while, they discovered that there were humanoid creatures approaching from the weak water abyss in the distance. But when they got closer, they realized that it wasn't Zhang Yi and the others, but a man with long black hair. Fatty Su and Uncle Yu had never seen Chong Wan before, so they didn't recognize him. But seeing that he was able to cross the weak water, they couldn't help but be alarmed. This guy. Isn't he supposed to be part of our team? Fatty Su asked with a puzzled look on his face. Li Yangyang stared at Chong Wan. Definitely not. This person didn't come with us. Let's stay away. We don't know if he's friend or foe. The three cautiously retreated. In a short while, Chong Wan landed. His long black hair retracted but still extended to his heels, making it difficult to determine his gender. Fatty Su and the other two watched him cautiously, and Chong Wan turned his head and glanced at them. Then he asked, "What did you find here?" His tone was as if he was asking a cat or a dog, and he didn't give Uncle Yu and the other two a chance to refuse. At this moment, Li Yangyang received a message from Zhang Yi and learned that the people in front of them were from the dragon clan of the Qinling Mountains. He told them to cooperate as much as possible. Li Yangyang briefly recounted everything she had seen and heard. Chong Wan remained expressionless, only reaching behind him to take the bronze box and place it on the shore beside him. Let's leave this place. It will soon become very dangerous. A gentle breeze blew through his hair, revealing a pair of purple vertical pupils that were extremely strange and eerie. Uncle Yu and the other two looked at each other but did not move. Chong Wan ignored them completely. He dragged the box strap with one hand and walked step by step toward Zhongshan Mountain. His eyes were fierce, as if he were facing a powerful enemy. This was his second time leaving the Dragon Clan's realm and coming to the outside world. The first time, his mission was only average. Although he didn't end up entering Tianyu Palace, his clan had sent him there only as an observer. The Dragon Clan's attitude toward the Yihen tribe was one of respect and distance, unwilling to have too much interaction with them. But this time was completely different. Hundreds of millions of years ago, the seal was placed by the Dragon Clan, who also took on the responsibility of guarding it. Although he didn't understand why such an important task was given to him, a young member of the clan, when there were elders who were far more powerful than him. But this time, since it was arranged by the ancient ancestor, there would definitely be no mistake. Because that old ancestor was able to see into the future, there must be a reason for sending him. It would be a lie to say that Chong Wan wasn't nervous, but he would still carry out the mission according to his clan's orders. He dragged the box to the foot of Zhongshan Mountain, took a deep breath, then slapped his right hand against the box. Mysterious symbols appeared on its surface, glowing with white light. The lid of the box opened, and beams of white light shot into the sky. High above the heavens, above Zhongshan Mountain, they formed a complex and vast scene. Fatty Su, Uncle Yu, and the other three watched from a distance, their eyes wide with astonishment. Black Tortoise also craned his neck and stared at everything. What is this? Before they could finish their astonishment, accompanied by Chong Wan using those special devices to form a field similar to an array, the entire Zhongshan Mountain suddenly shook violently. Boom! The black Zhongshan Mountain shook, and the entire island shook with it. Uncle Yu and the others suddenly heard a series of tragic screams, like the mourning of the dead, which were extremely shrill. Even with their combat suits and exoskeleton armor, these screams could not be completely blocked out. They desperately covered their ears, but they couldn't stop their brains from receiving these sounds, and their heads hurt so much that they almost split open. At this moment, a black light shot up into the sky from within Zhongshan. On the cliff walls inside Zhongshan, the sculptures of the fallen angels shattered inch by inch, and the black rock layers fell away, revealing one huge body after another. Their decaying, rotten bodies, their rotting wings, and their faces, which were both hideous and yet carried a hint of sacredness. Swoosh! They struggled violently and broke free from the walls. Originally, they were bound by bronze chains, but these chains had also become rotten and thin, and they broke free with great force. One after another, the fallen angels flapped their wings and flew out of the deep valley. Uncle Yu and the others saw this scene. In the valley, black smoke filled the sky, and the corpse-like fallen angels roared and rushed out like moths flying into a fire. Uncle Yu and the others turned pale. They had just entered the abyss and didn't notice that the large number of sculptures below were actually alive. If they had awakened them, everyone would have died in the abyss. No, it was because they weren't strong enough to awaken these fallen angels. Black Tortoise was also shocked. Although the fallen angels looked rotten, with many of their bones exposed and their wings decayed, they were still alive. However, although their bodies were rotten, their souls were not. The demon's eye was a special area that Mammon had sealed with his own power, preventing the souls of the dead from returning to the ether. These fallen angels were Mammon's followers countless years ago. Due to their defeat, they were sealed here together. Now that Mammon's seal was about to expire, they were able to emerge from the abyss. Countless fallen angels rushed into the sky, aiming straight for the white, magic circle-like thing above, while some rushed towards Chong Wan. Chong Wan frowned slightly, but there was no fear on his face. "You are dead souls, why are you still following the Demon King? Let me send you back to the ether." Chapter 2019, The 8 Trigrams. He slowly spread his arms, and the long black hair behind his head suddenly began to dance in the wind, swirling behind him like a windmill. In the next moment, the black hair instantly extended, with thousands of strands stretching thousands of meters long, and continuing to grow. The black strands shone with a faint, eerie light. They covered the sky, like pieces of the finest black silk, beautiful yet dangerous. As the hair flew, his face, which had been hidden under his black hair for years, was revealed. It was a beautiful face that could not be distinguished as male or female, but his purple vertical pupils were strange and eerie, making people afraid to approach him. The purple eyes flickered and turned into flames burning fiercely. Boom! Thousands of strands of hair blocked the sky, forming a huge cage. The hair rose up in purple flames, then stood up fiercely towards the fallen angels and stabbed straight at them. It was impossible to count how many strands of hair there were, perhaps hundreds of millions, perhaps billions. Hair is one of the softest things in the world, but because it is so fine, it is also extremely sharp. Under Chong Wan's control, they were the sharpest swords and the toughest ropes. The black hair broke through the air, like black stars dotting the night sky, and the sound of breaking through the air rang out, fiercely piercing the bodies of the fallen angels, then wrapping them up like rice dumplings. The fallen angel puppets wailed and attacked, but they couldn't hurt Chong Wan at all. They couldn't even get close to him before they were wrapped up like black rice dumplings. In the sky, the white sticks formed a strange and magnificent formation and slowly descended. Under the pure white light, the fallen angels became even more restless. Black Tortoise and the others noticed that the formation formed by the white rods seemed to have a suppressing effect on the fallen angels. Liang Yang didn't hesitate and told Zhang Yi everything the group knew. This was one of the reasons why Zhang Yi was able to wait on the opposite bank without rushing over. Chong Wan attracted the firepower of the fallen angels, and no one cared about these small fry. Fatty Sue was very quick-witted and directly pulled Liang Yang into Black Tortoise's mouth. "Start the boat, start the boat." Fatty Sue urged, "Get away from here, lest you get caught in the crossfire." Uncle Yu froze for a moment and shouted as he chased after them, "I'm not on the boat, I'm not on the boat yet." Fortunately, Black Tortoise waited until Uncle Yu was also on the boat before slowly retreating to a safe distance from the weak water abyss. Some of the fallen angels who had been shot down discovered them and wanted to chase after them. However, when they approached the weak water, they let out a miserable cry and fell directly into the water. They sank without even making a bubble. The weak water is a seal against these guys. Black Tortoise's low voice rang out. Soon after, Zhang Yi and the others also arrived near the Zhongshan mountain aboard the sea sponge. From a distance, they could see a huge white formation in the sky, suspended above the Zhongshan mountain as if suppressing it. Chong Wan's black hair blocked the sky, sealing the fallen angels one by one and wrapping them in black cocoons that hung on the cliff walls of Zhongshan. "These guys are netherwalkers too," Olive exclaimed. "If only Chief Odibio were still here." The shamanic magic of the Aoshi clan was particularly effective against Mammon's followers. After all, they had lived on the grasslands of Feijo for a long time and had dealt with the netherwalkers many times. "It doesn't matter, someone even more powerful than him is coming." Zhang Yi stared at Chong Wan in the distant sky. He used his hair as a bridge to quickly weave through the sky, passing over the fallen angels that kept emerging from the valley, sealing them all away as he made his way toward the valley. Zhang Yi and the others arrived near Zhongshan and reunited with Black Tortoise and the others. Uncle Yu and the others hurried over and said to Zhang Yi, "We saw it. Mammon is sealed in these mountains and is now in a state of slumber." Zhang Yi's heart stirred. "Good. Enter my shadow." He brought everyone into his shadow and let Black Tortoise stay on the shore of the weak water abyss to wait and help them leave. After all, his body was too huge, and Black Tortoise's fighting power would be greatly reduced after landing, so there was no point in bringing him along. The three merfolk did not have such restrictions. They were wearing a very special type of equipment that allowed them to swim to shore like snakes without any difficulty. The entire Zhongshan mountain was sealed off by black mist, and a huge white formation hovered in the sky above. Yang Xinxin stared at the image for a moment, then said to Zhang Yi, "This light formation looks a bit like the 8 trigrams." "The 8 trigrams?" Zhang Yi was taken aback. The 8 trigrams was one of the ancient cultures of the Huashu kingdom. Since ancient times, it had been regarded as an important means of discerning the secrets of heaven, and was also used in divination and fortune-telling. He didn't expect to see it here. However, this also indirectly proved one thing. The dragon clan under the Qingling Mountains was the angelic race that had cultivated the humans in the Huashu kingdom. No wonder, even though the white dragon was indifferent towards humans, the Xinjiang region was still able to maintain communication with them. If angels were parents, then humans were their children. Even when faced with the most difficult times, parents couldn't bear to watch their children die. Yang Xinxin said, "This is not an ordinary 8 trigrams, it is more complex and mysterious. I have never seen this pattern before." She memorized the extremely complex pattern in her mind. "Brother, let's follow Chong Wan into the sealed area and take a look." If Chong Wan could directly reinforce Mammon's seal, it would not be a bad thing. However, Zhang Yi would have to retrieve Ling's human body. That would become his trump card in the future when he faced various apocalyptic crises. "Since we're already here, what are we waiting for? Let's go in." Without saying another word, Zhang Yi activated his space shuffle ability and arrived at the entrance of the valley. It was pitch black, completely dark, with no light visible, as if everything had been swallowed up. They could only use instruments to get a rough idea of their surroundings. "Ling, I came according to your instructions. Don't let me down." Zhang Yi silently prayed in his heart. At this moment, a huge crack was clearly visible on the chest of Mammon's enormous body, which was sealed beneath the abyss. Within the flesh, as hard as granite, a mechanical body crafted with ultra-ancient technology pierced through its chest like a steel spike.